Bangalore University, Government First Year College and PG Center, Shankar Narayana, Kundapura, Udupi. I am Mohini, here with regulation of insurance business. Today let us discuss the regulation of insurance business. Now let us see regulation of insurance business. Now we'll see different important insurance acts first. So, regulation of insurance business is in India governed by Insurance Act 1938, IRD Act 1999, Insurance Amendment Act 2002. IRDA has prescribed in specified formats for preparation of financial statements of insurance business in Part 5 of Schedule A of IRDA Regulations 2002. Insurance Act 1938 and IRDA Act 1999 provide legal framework of insurance accounting in India. Financial statements also to be in conformity with the accounting standards issued by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Now we'll see the regulation of insurance business in India summarized under the following heads. Insurance sector reforms, Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority Act 1999, Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority, the Insurance Act 1938 as amended in 2002, the Competition Act, valuation of life policies. Now we'll see some of the reforms. In 1993, the government set up a committee under the chairmanship of R.N. Malhotra, former governor of RBI, to propose recommendations for reforms in the insurance sector. The objective was to assess the functionality of the Indian insurance sector and to complement the reforms initiated in financial sector. The Malhotra Committee attempted to improve various aspects of the insurance sector, making them more appropriate and effective for the Indian. The passage of the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority Act in 1999 can be seen as a dividing line for insurance business in India. It was an outcome of the implementation of the recommendations of high-powered committee, which suggested the setting up of a statutory body called Insurance Regulatory Authority in 1996. This body was later renamed as Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority with the passage of IRDA Act by the Parliament. The composition of authority. As per the section 4 of the IRDA Act 1999, Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority IRDA, which was constituted by an act of parliament, specify the composition of authority. The authority is a 10-member team consisting of a chairman, 5 whole-time members, 4 part-time members. All are appointed by the Government of India. Now we'll see what are the duties and responsibilities of IRDA section 14 of IRDA Act 1999. Issue to the applicant a certificate of registration, renew, modify, withdraw, suspend or cancel such registration. Protection of the interests of the policyholders in matters concerning assigning of policy, nomination by policyholders, insurable interest, settlement of insurance claim, surrender value of policy and other terms and conditions of contract of insurance. Specifying requisites, qualifications, code of conduct and practical training for intermediary or insurance intermediaries and agents. Now we'll see what is IRDA, Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, is a statutory body and regulates the insurance sector in India. Our mission is to protect the interests of policyholders even while ensuring the orderly growth and development of the insurance sector in India. Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority is the controlling and regulatory affairs body in the country for insurance sector and its chairman and members are appointed by Government of India. IRDA's headquarters is located at Hyderabad. Now let us see what are the mission statement of the IRDA. To protect the interest of and secure fair treatment of policyholder, to bring about speedy and orderly growth of the insurance industry, including annuity and superannuation payments for the benefit of the common man, and to provide long-term funds for accelerating growth of the economy, to set, promote, monitor, and enforce high standards of integrity, financial soundness, fair dealing, and competence of those it regulates, to ensure speedy settlement of genuine claims, to prevent insurance frauds and other malpractices, and put in place effective grievance redressal machinery, to promote fairness, transparency, and orderly conduct in financial markets dealing with insurance, and build a reliable management information system to enforce high standards of financial soundness amongst market players, to take action where such standards are inadequate or ineffectively enforced, to bring about the optimum amount of self-regulation in day-to-day working of the industry consistent with the requirements of prudential regulation. Now let us see the Insurance Act 1938 as amended in 2002. Insurance Act 1938 came into effect from 1st July 1939. The Act consolidates the law relating to the business of insurance, and it was the first piece of legislation to govern all forms of insurance, providing state control over insurance business. The original 1938 Act was amended in 1950, 1956, 1968, 1972, and also in 1999 and 2002. Now, what it says? Insurance Act 1938. The Insurance Act 1938 contains important provisions relating to insurance sector in country. Important provisions are eligibility, a public company or a company registered under the Cooperative Societies Act, and registration should obtain a certificate of registration, and a person who carry on any class of insurance business before IRDA Act 1999 shall make an application for such registration within 3 months from the date of commencement of such act. Now again we'll see the Insurance Act 1938 amended in 2002 has 120 section divided into two parts. Part 1 deals with the defining the terms used in the Act. According to this, IRDA is the authority for regulating insurance business in India. Part 2 is further divided into Part 1A, Part 3, 3 and PIC. Insurance business can be done by a public company, a society under the Cooperative Societies Act, and body corporate incorporated under the law of any country outside India, not being the nature of the private company. It comes under section 2C. A certificate of registration for a particular business shall be obtained from the authority, that is IRDA, under section 3. The authority is also empowered to cancel the registration under section 2. The registration shall be renewed annually. It comes under section 3A. The insurance shall not be registered by a name identical to that by which an insurer is in existence under section 5. After the commitment of the Act, a paid up equity capital of 100 crores shall be maintained for carrying of life insurance or general insurance business. The paid up capital shall be rupees 200 crores in case of carrying of excluding the business as insurance under section 6. No promoters shall hold more than 26% of the paid up capital. It comes under section 6AA. Every insurer shall deposit with the Reserve Bank of India, that is RBI, a surrender value to 1% of total cross premium in any financial year. In case of general insurance business, 3% of the premium shall be deposited with RBI, that is Reserve Bank of India, under section 7. Now we'll see. We'll go to the next. Competition Act 2002. Competition Commission of India is a body of Government of India responsible for enforcing the Competition Act 2002 throughout India and to prevent activities that have an adverse effect on competition in India. It was established on 14th October 2003. It became fully functional in May 2000 in India. Then what are the features of Competition Act 2002? Prohibition of anti-competitive agreements, prohibition of abuse of dominant position, regulation of combinations, establishment of the Competition Commission of India, penalties for contravention and non-compliance, competition advocacy, constitution of the Competition Fund. Now, what are the objectives of Competition Act? Competition Act 2002 notified in January 2003 stated objective in preamble is to provide for establishment of commission to prevent practices having appreciable adverse effect on competition, to promote and sustain competition in market, to protect the interest of the consumers, to ensure freedom of trade carried on by other participants in markets in India. Then we'll go to the last aspect, valuation of life insurance. The funds collected through the sale of life plans are invested in a variety of income producing assets. The life fund is built up out of the excess of premiums and investment income over claims and expenses on revenue and capital accounts. The life fund is valued from time to time, the valuation being based on the method of discounting future income and expenditure back to the present. The rate of discount used in is usually equal to the rate of interest which the fund's assets are expected to earn on an average. And allowance may be made for increase in interest rate, future bonuses in the case of with the profit policies while determining the discount. A life fund is in surplus if the valuation of funds greater than the present value of future liabilities. This surplus is available partly for distribution to policyholders and partly for adding to reserves. Only with profit policies participate in the distribution of surplus. There are three basic methods of distributing surplus to policyholders in the form of cash, as a reduction in premium and as an addition to the value of policy. If the surplus is distributed in the form of addition to the value of policy, it is known as reversionary bonus. The bonus may be declared as a simple reversionary bonus calculated on the original sum assured or a compound reversionary bonus calculated on the original sum assured plus any bonus already declared. The surplus can be of two types: revenue surplus discussed above, that is an excess of future income over future outgoing, and capital surplus, which arises when the value of the fund is balanced by the values of the various assets of the life fund as recorded in the balance sheet. Now friends, let us conclude this. Today, let us conclude this aspect. There are so many things to discuss. If we go on discussing, there it is never ending. Then, so in brief, we discussed every point. Again, if you want to study in detail, you can go to directly IRD Act and its provisions. In any online or in any database, you will get it. So we'll come in the next video with the new issue or new principles and all this. Until then, we'll be departed each one another. So thank you for patient listening. Thank you, one and all.